reverse engineering the mind like a computer. We built SD cards, etc. Yeah, kind of. I vaguely remember what this is.
Yeah. I don't know if I wrote that note about mixed masters.
Oh, you did. Yeah.
No, like on on something
okay.
else.
It's just like a computer. I think this is what we're getting at. Like a computer is built, and we can reverse engineer what it was like to get to where it is. The process to get there, but the mind is already there, and there's no going back, like to reverse engineer like how it came to be, because it's
there.
It's there
Yeah.
already, and it's like there's no knowing what processes or like how to, unless maybe the path of full liberation or something. But it's like the concept of.
So that's one part of it, and with that, the next part gets more ridiculous, because so we can't with a computer. It's like if most people look at it, there's a bunch of electronics buzzing around, and somehow you can take a little like SD card,
Right.
and put it in a thingy, and then just windows appear on a screen.
Yeah.
You just drag one to the other, and it like the amount of crazy stuff that's going on after decades of refinement and tuning, and so many people behind just all of it to make that work, and then to reverse engineer that and be like if you just found a computer in like the 1920s or earlier, like say you're 200 years ago, somebody found a computer with like a working monitor and somehow it had electricity that it could run and all this other stuff, and they were like, how do we reverse engineer and build this? Like they take out the SD card, where do you even begin? Just the literacy of how we would operate this thing, or how this thing came to be and how it works and anything would be so far gone that it wouldn't even be worth looking at. It's just like, well, when this computer dies or whatever, that's it, it's done.
Yeah.
Like we'll harvest the metal or something because it's like really well made or something. Like there's nothing that could have been done about it. And yet today and forever, people have been trying to approach reverse engineering the mind the same way. Of like, this thing is so far gone beyond our abilities and our comprehension and anything. So not only did we not make it, so like a computer we made, and once we make it all and put all the pieces together, there are people in the world today that could reverse engineer a computer.
We have manuals saying stuff about it.
Yeah, like people made these. We can unmake them. Nobody made this of like no human made a human and then was like and figuring out how to undo it all so that they can redo it or anything. And yet we're trying to do that with something so subtle and nuanced, way more complex than like the physical body and the brain and all its circuitry.
Yeah, even when I was going to point out that like when you point here, it's not here.
Yeah, not here. It's not the brain.
Everything.
Like literally the consciousness and awareness and all this other stuff that is so far beyond just how our physical body works. And people are trying to reverse engineer that with like boxes and psychology and all this other craziness. That's just like we're looking at a computer, like a modern desktop from the year like 1000, and being like, it buzzes, it makes sounds, flashy lights, and you can like click this thing and it opens stuff. And that's it. And we're trying to reverse engineer from that understanding of like, it's on and it does things and it has words that we can barely read because literacy is barely anything. So there are a few people in the world that can read, and and that's it. And then, like, why are you trying to put these in boxes already? And it's kind of amazing. and doing that before people like year 1000, and we have a modern desktop and people looking around on it. People are doing that before they even like figure out how the mouse moves and like open some icons and try and actually read what's going on there, or like learn anything. Like the amount of people that are actually going to bother doing anything as close as like click on the start bar and figure out that there's like a search function and like a search function exists at all or anything. Nobody's even getting to that basic point with the computer of their own existence. And we're trying to put it in boxes and explain it and understand it and throw knowledge around so nobody knows anything.